Dragonborn are a thing. Except they're not. It's 9:47 in the morning on the 18th day of January 2024. A couple days ago, I did a video about all the Tiefling love/hate that is perpetrating itself in the Twitterverse and the Redditverse and the Facebookverse and the YouTubeverse. And that's got currently 600 or so subs, which is my biggest video to date this year, which isn't saying a lot. But for me, that's a lot. So something about that really sat with people. They were very much on the, I'm either pro Tiefling or I'm against Tiefling or I'm just against the OGL for talking about Tieflings and hating on Tieflings or loving Tieflings. There's a lot of Tiefling. Somebody said, well, you should do Dragonborn. And Esamir. I was like, okay, I guess I'll do Dragonborn. I can, half dragon, half demon. Neither makes sense, but they're both in the game. They're both options. You don't have to have them in your game, guys, if you don't want to. And they both enter to that very, uncomfortable area of, well, in order for this to exist, that means at some point in time, somebody got it on with a dragon, right? And how does that even work? Except for fans of the elementals and the Ironwood, yeah, it works. And if you're familiar with Xanth, you know it works too. So the thing is, Dragonborn have been around for a while. Actually, goes all the way back to our boy Dragonbait. Remember Dragonbait, right? He was a humanoid saurian. He was more of a dinosaur than a dragon, but he was called Dragonbait. He communicated through smell, if I remember correctly. Like you knew he was happy if you smelled fresh baked bread. I think that was him. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read Curse of the Azure Bonds. But yeah, so this is probably the first, though I'm sure they're in fantasy fiction, the idea of humanoid dragons, especially in our hobby, has existed before that. So what is the dragon half-born hate level at? Well, actually, there isn't a lot. Which is weird in itself, I would think. Because people are definitely, how many times can I say definitely upset about Drow still. Definitely still upset about half-orcs. Definitely still upset about tieflings. But when you get to half-dragon, no one cares. There's not a lot of pro or anti Dragonborn out there in the Twitterverse, Redditverse, Facebookverse, YouTubeverse. I mean, even if you look at the breakdown about ones people are angry at, it's like, I'm really angry about tieflings and half-orcs are racist and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I guess the dragon half people are also. So why isn't Dragonborn getting the love that Tiefling has? And why isn't it getting the hate that Tiefling has? Why are Dragonborn less controversial than Drow or Orcborn or Demonborn or the very rare and elusive Carrotborn? Do we just hate? We're just less invested in half dragon than we are in half demons? I don't know. I mean, you would assume that the people who are pro-Tiefling, if you don't know Tieflings in your game, you're racist, would also be pro-Dragonborn. Yeah, dude, Dragonborns are cool. They combine the best of dragon and human, and you get to do a breath weapon thing every now and then. Okay, yeah, that is kind of cool. Doesn't really, I mean, for the hodgepodge kitchen sink of the Forgotten Realms, it works perfectly fine. And like any of these races, if it makes sense to the world, sure, I'll let them in my world. If it doesn't make sense to my world, I'm running human only. Can I be a Dragonborn? I just said I'm running human only. I'm going to be a Drow elf. I just said. Then, yeah, that makes sense too. Just, if the physics of your game allow for these races that, exist, then whatever. Somebody made a comment about how it has nothing to do with reproduction, but it has to do with, like, at some point in time, somebody made a contract with a devil, and then that's how a tiefling came about. So I assume it's the same with dragons. Maybe dragon half have nothing to do with, mommy and daddy, and everything to do with just somebody did a thing, and there was a thing and a contract, and the dragon said, and you got turned into a half dragon. Yes, I mean, oh my God, if you're reading the stuff on the announcement from Daggerheart and all the races that are being available are Daggerheart, people are just over the moon about getting it to play a cat person or a turtle person or a frog person. Nobody wants to play human, but oh yeah, dude, I can't wait. I've already got my turtle person saying out. So I'm sure, if I said cat people, there would either be a lot of love or a lot of hate for dragon girls and cat girls and stuff like that. Right? I'm assuming that would just be a thing. So does anybody else find that weird? That we're okay with this, but the Tiefling got everybody all upset and got me 600 views and got people, being really angry at me. But this one is like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. So here it is. I mean, and obviously my memory isn't very well, but I'm going through my years of gaming and trying to remember how many people ran Dragonborn characters. And I'm like, well, there was one. And maybe two in the last, how I don't remember when they first appear with in the game, but if we go all the way back to Dragonborn, though he was more of a Saurian than a dragon. But let's say in the last 20 years, I think 2 people have played them that I'm aware of in the games I've been in. And it's just a big, strong character who can do a breath weapon every now and then. I think, it used to be like 3 times a day or a number of times per day per your constitution modifier. Now I think it's, you can do it and then you have to take a short rest in 5e or whatever. But yeah, they get the breath weapons. The original, of course, was fire, but then they did all the other color dragons, and you could be a half gold and get that breath weapon. You could be a half black and get that breath weapon. You could be a half white and get that breath weapon. So yeah. So is it just, okay, so where was it? Oh, yeah. So just the dragons are kind of a staple. Dragon halves have just been around forever, so we're okay with dragon halves, but tieflings automatically cause the whole racism or not racism fight. And does anybody else find that weird? I find it weird. I find it weird that we're okay with this, but we're not okay with tieflings. And it looks like a lot of the games are going to be embracing non-human races. I was looking like of the 40,000 ancestries that are going to be available once D&D 2024 comes out. Obviously, humans are going to get the shaft. And if we're looking at the play test of Daggerheart, humans get the shaft. Hey, every other class has 2 abilities. Humans, you get 1 ability. And it just, it's a get to reroll a dice. Tieflings are before Dragonborn? I suppose it. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, we got dragon people in Dragonlance. We got Dragonbait from Curse of the Azure Bonds, though again, he was a dinosaur person, not a dragon person. Is it just that they're more normalized? I don't know. I wonder how many responses, anyways, this wasn't going to get, because I got like over 600 for tieflings, and my result at the end of the tiefling argument was nobody cares. So again, let's see. I don't know how many reviews I'm going to get this one. Are you team I love dragon half dragons? Are you team I hate half dragons? Are dragon halves racist? Are they not racist? Or are you team I don't care? Now, although my tiefling video got a lot of people upset, even though I guess you missed the ending of my tiefling video, which was I don't care. No one cares. Stop it. Go outside. If tieflings fit the physics of your game, have them. If they don't fit the physics of your game, don't have them. It's as simple as that. They're an optional race. It's not a, just because they're in the kitchen sink setting of the Forgotten Realms doesn't mean they're in your setting. So you do you. If everybody wants tieflings in your game, so same with half dragons, dragonborn, dragon halves, whatever we're calling these things, dragon folk. If half dragon works for your game, great. If it doesn't work for your game, don't have them. Where is there, the same level of hate towards these guys that there is towards tieflings, or they just get a pass because we're kind of more accepting of them? It's just like, whatever. Just sort of fall into the same category as half orcs and tieflings and all these other things. I don't know. What are you thinking? Where do you stand on this? How many responses do you think this video is going to get? I said I'd cover it, so I'd cover it. That's about it. That's all I got. They're around. They exist. They're in the game. They will continue to be in the game. There'll be more and more non-humans in 2024 D&D. It's looking like Daggerheart's going on the alien, way too. It's like, guys, if you want aliens in your game, just make a space game. Then the argument's pointless. It's space. So, of course, there's a planet of people who are dragons, and a planet of people who look like demons, and a planet of people who look like elves, and a planet of people that look like carrots. Just make a space game. Then this argument is pointless. Because it's space and fantasy. It should be the core four. And then if you have something else in your game, it's because it fits the story of the game. Here is the story of the game, and that explains why there's half dragons, half orcs, half elves, half demons, and half carrots. And there's just not enough love for the half carrot, right? I think, right? Just not enough love for the half carrot. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Stay safe out there.